Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Yahawashi Kodash. Double honors unto all the apostles and great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. And shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Yeah, all praises to the Most High Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, of course. And yeah. So I was watching a few videos and stuff like that, got inspired, of course. And also with the things that are going down right now, especially starting in America, of course, where everything, basically that's Satan's seat, where everything is gonna predominantly take place concerning the big destruction upon our people, because it's already happening right now. But just like back in the days, it happened with the northern tribes, and I was actually busy with the, of course I'm busy with the Old Testament, with the New Testament too, but I mean, like I'm doing videos on it and stuff like that. So, but anyway, I'll just leave that. Let me read this. John chapter 8 verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So once we know about this truth, that's about the time that the Jacob descendants are going to be set free. Because I was talking to a few other guys that I know, and it's like, you know, I said something, right? I think he I know what he said. He said like, hey man, you always coming up with them conspiracies and stuff like that, right? And then I told him, we wasn't even having long-winded conversations. I just said something. No, I said something. And then he said, yeah, why you go too deep with these things? Sorry. He said, you're always coming up with them conspiracies. And then I pulled up the dictionary, and I explained to him, like, this is what the word conspiracy means. And then I showed him a website, just one, article actually, sorry, that says conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. And I showed him a few things, and I said, like, hey, it's a few thousands of them actually that actually turned out to be true. And the same thing, what we're talking about right now is the same thing, because I was talking about, you know, the government is checking you out and all that there. And then, you know, he called me a conspiracy theorist, and I told him, like, listen, you don't think that they're lying on you? You know, they I mean, for goodness sake, they teaching you about flying reindeers, man, and then they associate that with the Bible. And you still believe that these people ain't lying to you with everything else? If they're already lying about that, how much more things are they lying about, right? Anyway, so on, oh yeah, the camera's there. Keep on looking there, but anyway. Right, so let me go on. No, it says here, now, because America is that bloody city, and it's already starting with violence right about now. That's how the northern tribes actually got taken out, and now it's starting with the northern tribes again. But you southern tribes, I see y'all laughing and stuff like that. Even Yahawashi said, like, don't worry about me, worry about yourself. You shouldn't start laughing at the northern tribes, because that is exactly the same thing that we did back in the days. When the Assyrians took the northern tribes into captivity, Judah was basically saying, fuck them. Judah and Benjamin was basically saying, fuck them. They're idol worshippers anyway. But you next. You know, Judah and Benjamin is next, you know. So, Nahum chapter 3 verse 1. Woe to the bloody city. It is full of robbery. It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departed not. Now who's the prey? The Jacob descendants, man. You ain't departing. So when you get kicked out that land, he's actually doing you a favor. He's doing you a favor by kicking you out of that land and sending you back to where you come from. But according to the mannerisms of this world and the vision of this world, you don't want to go back to the countries that you come from, that you go to, that you go toward. Wait, let me say it again. You don't want to go back to the country that you come from when you out of where you went toward America. Because everybody on the planet Earth want to come to the countries where Esau is at, whether it be in Europe, whether it be in North America. You know, you don't have a lot of Jacob descendants flocking to Russia. You don't have a lot of heathen nations flocking to Russia and those areas and all that, especially not Eastern Europe. As a matter of fact, the Eastern European Edomites, they want to come to the west side of Europe. Why? Because their own country is messed up over there, and then therefore they want to come to the west of Europe. So that's one example. You had for example, the Moroccans, right? where do they go to? They want to go to Spain and France. You know, they want to go to Spain and France, and that's where they want to be at. Also, of course, the Netherlands, Belgium, all these places that they, flock toward, just basically fleeing away from their own lands and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, so let me go on. So the Most High said, woe to that bloody city. I see something here. What the hell is that? Oh. What? Oh. Right, so Most High said, woe unto that bloody city. And that bloody city is what does with violence, so that great city Babylon be taken down. But before Babylon is going to be taken down, there's going to be a lot of violence over there. And Esau is going to be the one that's going to commit the violence upon the Jacob descendants in that land, starting with the northern tribes. So wait, let me actually straight jump to the scriptures that I have laid down here, which is First Kings chapter 11. First, let me start at, just to get the intro ball rolling, I'm going to start at 11. Wherefore Yahawah said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes which I commanded thee, I will surely rent the kingdom from thee. So the Most High is going to rent the kingdom from Solomon, from the house of David, and then he's going to rent the kingdom from him, But he's not going to rent it from him as an individual. He's going to rent it from his son, Rehoboam. Now it says here, I will surely rent the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant, which was Jeroboam, which was an Ephraimite. Verse 12, notwithstanding, in thy days I will not do it for thy father David's sake, for David thy father's sake, but I will rent it out of the hand of thy son. Howbeit, I will not rent away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son for David, my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen. And Yahawah stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom. Right, so Hadad the Edomite, but if you actually check out that word, it goes into Syrian, but that's another story, because in order for me to explain that, I actually need to show you the scriptures and stuff like that, what it says in the Hebrew, what it says in different type of translations and all that there. So I'm not going to go into that too much. But yeah, so First Kings chapter 12 now. Yeah, First Kings chapter 12, verse 20. I often read this so that you can get it in your head, right? First Kings chapter 12, verse 20. And it came to pass, when all Israel heard that Jeroboam was come again, that they sent and called him unto the congregation and made him king over all Israel. There was none that followed the house of David, but the tribe of Judah only. And when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Judah with the tribe of Benjamin. That's that curse that the Most High put upon them, and then they put upon us. But I was talking about them as in actually us, but I mean Judah and Benjamin. He put that curse on them. He put that curse on Judah, that Judah shall not have dominion over all the tribes. He's gonna lose his part. Just like how when ex-king when Saul, he grabbed Samuel's garment and then it rent, and then he said, "See, the Most High is gonna rent from you the kingdom today, and give it unto basically thy neighbor, one who is more obedient than you," which was King David. So 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 21. And when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Judah with the tribe of Benjamin, 180,000 chosen men, which were warriors to fight against the house of Israel, to bring the kingdom again to Rehoboam the son of Solomon, because he wanted the house of Judah back into he wanted the nation of Israel back into the house of Judah, to the son of King David, through his other son Solomon, King Solomon. Right. So now let me now go to 2 Kings chapter 17. Now this is all to say that the the dividance of the northern tribes and the southern tribes was set up there in 1 Kings 11, and then now it's being done again through the power of the Most High, first and foremost. But now it's being set up to wait. Let me read it. 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 17. So 2 Kings 17:17. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Most High, to provoke him to anger. That's what the Israelites were doing back then. Nowadays they're doing the same thing again. How? For example, the abortion thing is a very big thing around Jakes. Why? Because they want to emulate Esau, and yeah, they learned it from the heathen nations. Just like how back in the day our people learned it from the Canaanites. When they saw it, they thought it was cute. So they started to do it themselves. That's in Psalms 106. It explains to you there that they saw the heathen nations, but in this case the Canaanites, they saw them there doing it, and they wanted to do it too. Right? So let me go on. Now it says here, verse 18. Therefore Yahweh was very wroth with Israel, and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only. So only Judah was left behind, right? And that's exactly what's happening right now, because all the northern tribes, whether it be from whatever type of country that's in South America, whatever type of country, they kind of in trouble. You know what I'm saying? They kind of in trouble with the Ice Baby guy, Vanilla Ice. You remember that song, Ice Baby? I remember that song. That guy's a Jake, by the way. Anyway, 19, and he wising the hell up. He got the hell up out of there, and now he's doing a show on television that I saw. I don't see it no more, actually. I saw it on YouTube now. It's on YouTube now, where he goes about renovating houses and stuff like that. Hey, what the hell? All right. Hey. Right, going on. Now it says here, verse 19. Also Judah kept not the commandments of Yahweh their power, but walked in the statutes of Israel which they made. And Yahweh rejected all the seed of Israel, and afflicted them, and delivered them into the hand of spoilers, until he had cast them out of his sight. So that's what the Most High is going to do now. He's already preparing it to where you're going to have now, because back in the days when the Israelites, the northern tribes were carried away captive. Let me get that. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 40. It says here, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. And so came they to another land. But anyway, after that captivity, they went to America. So that's that part. Right, so going back to, let me see. Yeah, so 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 17 until verse 20. Like it explains, first it was the northern tribes that fell out, and then, the Judites was like, fuck them. We ain't gonna go to their rescue. We're not gonna go help them because they was worshiping idols and stuff like that. So they was like, nah, I ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Well, the same thing is happening right now. Because you think you're laughing. Because I seen them laughing and stuff like that. And me personally, this was years ago when the guy from Black Panther, the actor from the movie Black Panther, when he was very thin, and then you had Jacob descendants mocking him, like so-called Negroes and stuff like that. They was mocking him, talking about, oh, he went from Black Panther to Crack Panther. I hated that shit. And the same thing with Eddie Murphy, his brother, Charlie Murphy. When I saw him looking like how he did, I was not laughing, man. But you had people talking mad shit. That already showed me like the love of many shall wax cold. Since then, I already knew like, damn, you don't even know this man, and you be mocking him like that with his illnesses and stuff like that. And now he's dead, and all the laughing that you have been doing, you know, can you imagine what he felt like when people was calling him Crack Panther because he didn't tell anybody that he had that cancer. He didn't tell anybody. You know, publicly it was not known. Colon cancer or something like that, whatever. You know? But when I saw him, the first thing that came to my mind is like, damn, are you alright, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? I hope you're not messed up and stuff like that. But hey, but that shows you that we, the Jacob descendants, right? You will feel for your people. You know what I'm saying? When you see them suffering. You might hate their guts, but that's actually on another type of level, because if they come back to Yahawah Bashem Yahushai, then you don't dislike them no more. You know what I'm saying? But as long as they with them wicked stuff and stuff like that, man, fuck them. See, actually it's just like that. But still, you do be like, fuck them. But at the same time, starting with, you know, you have all these groups out there, but starting with the group of Great Millstone, the Elder Apostles on down, they've been gathering the house of Israel, but they don't want to listen. Matthew chapter 12. Chapter 22. They've been trying to gather the 12 tribes, and it's going to work. So it's not about that failure, because it's going to work. But still, you've been warned. That's what I'm trying to say. You've been warned, and you didn't want to listen, and you know you pulled away the shoulder, and it's all good because you're gonna pay for that. So now you have the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 36 verse 14. No, I'm not going to read that yet. Wait. Let me go back to the Nahum chapter 3 verse 1. Woe to the bloody city, it is full of lies and robbery. The prey departed not. Because the Most High is going to make it to where Esau is going to prey upon you, man, and you're not going to be leaving, you know. By that time, you're going to want to be leaving America, but you're not going to be able to, because the Most High is going to make it to where you can't leave. Have you seen that movie called, how you call that movie again? Wait, let me see something. That movie is called, not the Book of Eli, that's good too, but I Am Legend with Will Smith. Now, I Am Legend, what happened there was that you had these Edomites burn up the wall, and not burn it up actually, blow up the wall with fire and stuff like that, but explosives, fire came there. But they blew up the bridge, not the wall, damn. They blew up the bridge so that you can't cross into the, because I think it was Manhattan, and if I'm correct, Manhattan is like a little island within there, and if you blow up the bridges, you can't get up in there and you can't get away from it. And there was another movie that was called, damn, I forgot the movie. It was a movie about silent people. You needed to be silent or something like that, or the monsters would come about and basically snatch your life. I forgot the movie name. It was The Quiet Place. Yeah, Quiet Place. In that movie, you can see it too. They blew up the bridges, and in order for you to get off the island, you needed a boat. You know, because you're not gonna actually make it that far with swimming. A lot of people can't really swim that good. Not that far. You need a boat. You know what I'm saying? That's the safest way you can get out of there. But anyway, so there you can see that they're gonna make it to where you're gonna want to leave, but you're not gonna be able to leave unless you go to the forests, and you might come across a lot of animals that's might hurt you. Anyway, so let me go further. This is the book of Ezekiel 29, it's 24 and 9. It says, therefore, thus saith Yahweh, woe to the bloody city. I will even make the pile of fire. I will even make the pile for fire great. The Most High is going to make it to where America, starting there, first and foremost, going to be a pile of fire, because that's that bloody city. They built everything upon rape, rob, murder, and then therefore the Most High is going to set them up back. He's going to set them on fire. He's going to set them up back, all the things that they have done upon the planet Earth, whether it be Europe, whether it be America, whether it be Australia, all the Edomites all over the place. They're going to get what Yahawah Bashem Yahushua is going to dish out to them. which is first and foremost nuclear fire, World War III, and all these other type of curses mentioned in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, which is going to come upon the Esau first and foremost. And yeah, so Ezekiel chapter 24, verse 10. Heap on wood, kindle the fire, consume the flesh and spice it well, and let the bones be burned. Because the Most High is going to make it to where, make it to where, you know, they're going to be set on fire. And America is going to be a great example of how not to be. Because the kingdoms of the planet Earth are going to look at them. Actually, Sodom and Gomorrah was actually a place where they should have looked upon how not to be, and yet they modeled themselves after Sodom and Gomorrah. So that's in the wait, let me get that scripture real quick and sample. So it says here, Second Peter chapter 2, verse 6, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. So the Most High made them as an example, but Esau ain't listening. So guess what's going to happen to him? The same thing is going to happen to him, and this time it's going to be nuclear fire. It's not going to be fire from heaven, which is, you know, meteorites and stuff like that. Basically, also the chariots are going to come and shooting them lasers, because that's concentrated fire. It's fire at the same time. So he already did it back then. The Most High did it back then to Sodom and Gomorrah, sent chariots, blazed them up, fire from heaven and stuff like that, and he's going to do it again. Because in the midst of the nuclear fire, the World War III that's pending, them chariots is going to come, and everybody that's not hit by the nuclear missile or the wind thereof or the sound thereof, you know, the chariots are going to target you individually and going to disintegrate you, like in that movie called War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. It's amazing that I actually saw that movie, because I never could stand that dude until I think beginning of this year, or maybe the end of last year. I just forced myself to watch one of the movies. I couldn't watch episode 1 because I hated his face. I still did. But then I started with movie 2, episode 2, part 2, whatever. And then from then on, that became my favorite movie, man. I already saw that movie where he, you know, did the Spider-Man thing when he came down on the wire, and then you know, he had to steal the code or something like that in that movie. I forgot which part it was, but I saw it, and then I left it alone because I couldn't stand him. And then years after that, like last year, I looked at that movie, and I actually like this son of a bitch. You know, he's actually that doesn't mean I'm gonna watch all his movies now. You know, I just like him in that part. But the first one I hated, and I'm not watching the one with the plane, the airplane. I forgot that. What's the movie again? Top Gun. Hate that shit. Anyway, so Ezekiel 24 and 9. Let me see. 11. Then set it empty upon the coals thereof, that the brass of it may be hot and may burn, and that the filthiness of it may be molten in it, that the scum of it may be consumed. You know what scum is? Scum is like the foam on the, like if you go to water and it's stagnant water, when it just stays in one place, then you will have a layer of filth upon it. And that layer of filth is full of bacteria, by the way, but that layer of filth is what they call scum. If you Google the word scum and then you click on images, you're going to see how it actually looks. Which is if you check, what's up, man? Which is if you check up that word, like I said, then you're going to see how it actually looks. Now you're going to understand when people say, oh, you're the scum of the earth or whatever like that. Look that word up and see how it actually looks. Then you're going to look at it and be like, damn, that's disgusting. Well, that's what people call each other. So that's what people call one another when you're actually you're doing bad. So Ezekiel, no. Ezekiel 24 and 12. She had worried herself with lies, and her great scum went not forth out of her. Her scum shall be in the fire. All the filthiness of Esau, the rape, rob, murder, all the things that they have done upon the planet Earth, the illnesses, the sicknesses that they just created in the laboratorium and stuff like that, all that there, the Most High is going to make them pay for that, man. You know, whether it be in Europe, whether it be in Russia, whether it be in Australia, whether it be wherever they are, man. You know, the Heavenly Father is going to set them on straight, and America itself is going to be flattened. Like I said, like the scripture said, World War III is pending, and no man can stop it upon the planet Earth. And the Most High is the one that's going to put it in their minds to keep on fighting with one another, so that his deeds shall be fulfilled. His will, his determination shall be fulfilled. Right. So let me go to the book of let me see something here. 24. I already read that. Right, so it says here, Ezekiel 22, verse, I think I started 1. Ezekiel 22 and 1. Moreover, the word of the Most High Yahawah came unto me, saying, Now, thou son of man, wilt thou judge the bloody city? Yea, thou shalt show her all her abomination. And that's why we telling everybody up on the planet Earth, especially the Edomites, about their wicked deeds and wicked ways. And some of them don't want to hear it, and some of them actually agree. They'll be like, yeah, you're kind of right. But that's a small portion of them. Does that mean that they ain't going into slavery? Hell no. Maybe it means that they're not going to catch such a hard time compared to the rest of the Edomites, because you have to understand, not understand, it's not about understanding. It's you need to remember that back in the days, not all the Jacob descendants got like the real torment and stuff like that. The Most High kept some of them safe. I'm not saying that that's going to happen to them, but I'm giving you an example, because what we're going to do to them is what had been done unto us. We're going to set up taskmasters over them to afflict them with their burdens, just like how the Mizraimites actually used to do it too. In Exodus 2, right? Verse 3. Then say thou, thus saith Yahawah the power, the city shedded blood in the midst of it, that her time may come, and maketh idols against herself to defile herself. So, that bloody city, the Most High, is going to judge that bloody city. But you have to remember, Jacob was that bloody city too. And now, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And now, they're that bloody city in the midst of them, of themselves, and the Most High is going to cause it to where, first and foremost, the northern tribes are going to be kicked out of his mercy site, and then it's going to come to the Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Then it's going to come to your side, and then the Most High is going to rip his mercy from you too. I'm included there, so I'm not talking about only them. But the point is that I see y'all laughing right about now. Same thing as how Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, actually Judah and Benjamin, but Levi was in the midst of them. Same thing how they were actually laughing at Israel. They were laughing at the northern tribes at that time, like fuck them, they idol worshippers anyway. Well, like the Lord Yahawah said in the book of Acts. No, it wasn't the book of Acts, but he did say cry not for me, cry for yourself. So now, don't be laughing, man. Don't be laughing at them, because what's going to happen is, the Most High is going to turn that laughery that you have right now, he's going to turn it into frowns. Revelation 18:21, and the mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. So guess what? That violent city Babylon, which is known as America nowadays, governed by Esau, who models himself after the Chaldeans, and the city after the Babylonians. Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1 says that, shows that. The whole chapter actually, but starting at verse 1. And Psalms 137 also shows you that, goes into that he is the virgin daughter of Babylon. right? And the Most High is going to make sure that he's going to go through the pain that he deserved. But before he goes to that pain, you have to understand that the Jacob descendants are going to be the ones that's going to be feeling at the wrath of the Heavenly Father, especially the northern tribes, because they're one of the most stubborn mother. I was like I said, I'm sorry, the northern tribes, yeah, but I was actually trying to say southern tribes, because well, what do you think is actually fighting more for Esau? Well, actually, all tribes do that shit, actually, man. You know, for example, you got the northern tribes, they fighting for Caesar Borgia, and the southern tribes, they fighting for Ham. You know, and they fighting for Caesar Borgia. So they got two of them. Some of them is fighting for Ham, trying to talk about, yeah, we're Hamites, we're Egyptians, we're this, we're Africans, we're that. And some of them are fighting for Caesar Borgia. Yeah, you have none of them fighting for, of the northern tribes, you have none of them fighting for Ham. Like talking about that they're Hamites and stuff like that. They're not doing that. They would rather say that they're Edomites. I'm not kidding you. They would rather say that they're Edomites, and they would rather basically flock onto modern Syria, which is America, and all that there. So they got like one idol, which is Esau, right? The big time idol. But Jake, in the midst of them, you got, you know, one of their idols is Ham, and the other one is Caesar Borgia. That's the two things that they follow. Also, they follow Islam too. Like I said, you don't have a lot of northern tribes that be following after Islam. You got a bunch of southern tribes that be following after Islam and stuff like that. So they got now like three gods already. They got Ham that they basically want to follow, model themselves after. They got Esau that they want to model themselves after and bow and worship unto him. And then they got Ishmael that they model themselves after and that they want to worship. Meanwhile, the northern tribes, they got like Caesar Borgia. Of course, they got their other gods and stuff like that. But as a whole, even though they worship the other entities that they do, you know, the idols, their main focus is Esau, Caesar Borgia. So 2 Chronicles 36:14. Moreover, all the chief of the priests and the people transgressed very much after all the abominations of the heathen, and polluted the house of the Lord, which he had hallowed in Jerusalem. Right, so now we don't have our land, so how are the Jacob descendants polluting the house of the Most High? By polluting themselves, by worshiping other heathen nations, their God and stuff like that, and their idols. So that's how you nowadays pollute the house of Jacob, the house of Israel, the house of the 12 tribes, which you are part of, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos. Those are the 12 tribes of the nation of Jacob, the sons of Jacob, right? All right, so let me go on now. It says here on get that. Let me get this one in the book, and then the other one I'll get in the phone, so I can have them side by side. Isaiah 4. Right, okay, let me hold that there. And I got two. So here is get that there. Now this is wait. 2 Chronicles 36:15. And Yahawah, the power of their fathers, sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes, which is before times, back in the days, and sent him because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place, which is Jerusalem. But nowadays the Most High say he dwelleth within the Israelites, right? Because all over the place that they are, there you have the Jacob descendants. There you have the Most High in the midst of them. The kingdom of heaven dwelleth within you. So, everywhere you have Jacob descendants, there you have a little Samaria, there you have a little Jerusalem and stuff like that, right? Hosea chapter 4, verse 17, it says here, we get that in the book. Hosea 4 and 17, Ephraim is joined unto idols, let him alone. So, Ephraim is joined unto idols, let him alone. Their drink is sour, right? Their philosophies is just full of feces, man. It's very sour. They have all these other abominable, like a bunch of abominable snowman effects, man. You know, like a snowball going down a hill, getting bigger and bigger, full of feces. More and more of their abominations that the heathen nations put up in the midst of them, and then they carry it on in the midst of them by themselves. You know. 18, their drink is sour, they have committed whoredom continually, her rulers with shame do love give ye. The wind had bound her up in her wings, and they shall be ashamed because of their sacrifices. So all the sacrifices that they have been doing, they're going to be ashamed of that, man, because the Most High is going to confound them. And what's happening right now, I'm going to show you one of their shame. Let me read it, let me say it, and then read it again. One of their shames is this, for example. There was actually supporting Trumpy, the homie Trumpy. They was supporting Trumpy, and then Trumpy is the one that kicked him. He kicked him the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that was dumping on him. So now Judah be laughing at them. I'm laughing too, but I'm laughing in a different type of mindset. I'm laughing because I see the scriptures coming to pass. Because the Heavenly Father said that the Most High said, I will laugh at your calamity when all your calamity coming. But for now, you know, you think you're laughing. Meanwhile, the other ones is laughing at you. The ones that is not decided. You're on the left and on the right. You know, you got the northern tribes on the left and on the right. The northern and the southern tribes. It doesn't matter which one is on the left or the right. They're basically parted. And then you have the other ones that's on the sidelines looking at both of you. Going into the heat of the moment and heat of the action, whatever you want to call it. And Lord willing, we get to laugh. I'll get to laugh. I'll just say that. The ones on the side, it's already predestined that you're gonna have the chosen one that's gonna be laughing and stuff like that at you, and then the rest they're gonna be taken care of, man. Because that's what the Most High is gonna be setting up. He's already setting it up right now, and all we have to do is wait until that thing plays out. You know, He's rising up the nation of Jacob, right? And the men thereof He's going to protect. And that's all basically that we seek for. Because if you see the destruction coming, ain't you supposed to warn others like, hey, my man, there's a snake coming over there, and it's kind of a big snake, and he's about to choke you. So, first and foremost, don't go there. And second, if you are there, watch out. Right? And that's what you're supposed to be doing, Matthew 22. Bid them to the supper so that they might come and eat of the holy meal of Yahawah, which is this word. So then you eat along. Then you eat along. And then you eat aloud. Something like that. Eat along, I should actually say. Right, so let me read it again. So it says here, Hosea chapter 4, verse 17. Ephraim is joined to idols, let him alone. Their drink is sour, because the Most High Yahawah, He had that water that He brought in the book of Jeremiah chapter 2. He's that water. And then His son Yahushua is the one that brought the water again, but this time His son came to bring that water. It's still the water of the Most High. And He came to bring it at the well, which that woman is not an Israelite, or else He would have helped her. I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And that woman He did help, that other Canaanite, that wasn't a Canaanite, that was called a Canaanite. Just like how you have Simon the Canaanite, he's called that. Just like how you have Obed-Edom the Gittite. Obed-Edom the Gittite, he's not a Gittite. He's that's from Gath. Like where Goliath is from, the Philistines, that's from Gath. But if you read the book of Joshua 12, you will see that we took over that region, and then we started to live there. And then while we was living there, then for example, because you had a lot of Jacob descendants with the same name, then one, for example, was from Gath, and then you would call him, for example, Michael the Gittite, right? And then you had another Michael that was maybe, let me see, Michael the Canaanite, you know, just like Simon the Canaanite. Well, the Canaanite was all over the place. Let me give another one. Michael the Gideonite, you know. You might call him that because he's from the region of Gideon, and that region of Gideon was in the land of Benjamin. So you would know, like, oh, okay, he's a Benjamite because he's called the Gideonite. But then you have the actual Gideonites, which are Canaanites. Amorites, Canaanites is the same thing because they come from Amor, right? So that's a little bit of confusion, but the Most High is not the author of confusion, so he's going to make you explain. He's going to make you understand. It's going to be explained to you within your mind, and there's going to be someone on the planet Earth that's going to explain that to you. And that's why the Most High said, "I will send those men." It's not just one person. I just gave it as an example to let you know that. For example, I was this morning talking to a lot of people this morning. Jacob descendants, Ishmaelites. So I was talking to this, well, he's not Islam, he's actually Ishmaelite. He's actually Pakistan. He's from Pakistan. And, you know, he believes in Islam and stuff like that. So I gave him a few verses to wherewith, I'll show you the verses that I gave him, if I'm correct, if I have it here. Sorry. And then I explained something to him. You know what? Wait, let me get it here. Oh shit. I don't want to do that. No, I'm gonna have to, and I'm gonna have to go to the website itself. Oh man. Oh man, what? Damn, sorry. Wait. Okay, I think I got it. Right. So it says here, oh shit. It says right here, right? So in their book, damn, I need to go get that. Wait, man, fuck it. Right. So in their Quran, right? So it says here that it's called the cave or something, the book of the cave, which is in Surah 18:27. It says here, recite what has been revealed to you from the book of your Lord. They're talking about the scriptures, right? So it says here, none can change his words, nor can you find any refuge beside him. Then, so wait, let me read it again so I'm explaining it to you. So it says here, 18:27. I'll put these links in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. So it says 18:27. It says here, recite what has been revealed to you from the book of your Lord. None can change his words, nor can you find any refuge besides him. And then now I'm going to go to Surah chapter 3. It says the family of Imram or something. So, Surah 3:3. He has revealed to you, O Prophet, the book in truth, confirming what came before it. So, it says, confirming what came before it. So, what was before the Quran? It's going to explain. As he revealed the Torah and the Gospel. That is what they're talking about, right? But now, verse 4, it says here, Let me read the first 3 again. He revealed the Torah and the gospel previously as a guide for the people, and also revealed the decisive authority. Surely those who reject, they put the word Allah. So surely those who reject revelations will suffer a severe torment, for their God is there again, is almighty, capable of punishment. But let me go back to the beginning of chapter 3, verse 4. It says here, previously as a guide for the people, and also revealed the decisive authority. So what do they say? They say, if you put these two verses together on chapter 3, so book 3, which is chapter 3, verse 3 and verse 4. It says basically that in the book that came before, which is the Torah, because it says it right here, the book that came before is the one that has the decisive authority. You know what that means? That means that if there are 3 people, 3 judges, and 2 of them, they're judging and stuff like that, and then the third one is the one that has the decisive authority. He comes and he knocks both of y'all so-called authority power thing to the side, because he has the decisive authority. And that's what the Quran says that the Bible has, the Torah has. So let that sink in, right? So I was talking to him about that. To show you that way, right? I don't even know what the hell I was going to reading that for. I went too deep in that shit. Oh my goodness. Why the hell was I reading that for again? Oh man, I fucking lost it. I was going too deep in it, man. Shit, I need to. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. That's the second time that shit happened, man. Last week it happened too. Fuck it. Anyway, I need to go watch this video. Let me put the time in, 47. And then I could put it in the comment board because I lost it. Time 47, lost train of thought. Okay. So I'll answer it there, Lord willing. Right, so the idols. Right, so let me read it again. Isaiah chapter 47? No. Hosea chapter 4, verse 17. Ephraim is joined to idols, let her alone. Their drink is sour, they have committed whoredom continually. Her rulers with shame do love. Give ye. The wind had bound her up in her wings, and they shall be ashamed because of their sacrifices. So yeah, they was actually humping up Trump. They was humping his leg like a dog, and then he turned around and bit them like a rabid dog. How about that? And now you have the other Jacob descendants on the sideline laughing. But the reason I can laugh, and I'm allowed to laugh, is because first and foremost, I don't hate their guts. I know they hate me. I bet you motherfucker, man. But there's the other one. Like I said, I don't hate their guts like that, especially if they're on Yahawah Bashem El Shai type. But loose from that, what they're doing is because what do you think they teach their children if a Jacob descendant like me come around Jacob descendants like them? What do you think they teach their daughters and stuff like that? Even their sons. They don't be mingling with it. Don't be mingling with these darkies and stuff like that. These darkies. But anyway, so I know that shit is in them. The conquistador mindset. It goes back to the hatred of the curses of the Most High. But still, they got their conquistador blood that they lick and worship. They lick it clean like a vampire. They really love that blood that's flowing through them. Right, but yeah, the Most High says you're gonna be ashamed, man. And that's exactly what's happening right now, because the Most High is causing it to wear Trumpy, the homeboy. He's making you ashamed of the choices that you made in it, man. And that's just one of many shamefaced things that's going to happen to you, starting with the northern tribes, and now the same type of thing is going to happen to the southern tribes, because you're going to be getting that ass whooping too. You don't believe it yet because you think you're secure. You're not secure, because this Edomite's going to pull the rug from underneath you, and he's going to pull it so fast that you're going to think that that you a fish out of water, and you need to get back to the fucking water. That's how you gonna think. Like, man, I don't feel good around here. I need to go swimming on my own. That's what he gonna make you feel. Anyway, so damn, I'm still trying to figure out what I was, because I know that I gave the example about the Islam guy, because I was talking to him this morning. Shit. Anyway, so I was talking to this guy. I'm still trying to come back on it. I was talking to this Islam guy and stuff like that, and I was giving him examples about how the damn, I just fucking lost it. I'll leave it, man. I'll leave it. But anyway, I was talking to an Islam guy this morning, and I was explaining certain stuff to him, and I'm still trying to figure out what I was thinking. Damn. Anyway, what our people are doing is this. They run to the side of Ishmael, and they run toward the other side of Esau. That's their main target. That's the main thing that they actually go toward. And of course you have the southern tribes, they run to Ham and stuff like that. But still, the Most High is going to make it to where all your tribes are going to figure out that Yahawah is only dealing with one people, which is the Israel of Israel, the chosen of the chosen ones. Now the chosen ones is the entire 100% nation of Jacob, but the chosen ones in the midst of them, that's only a small portion of them, starting with the 144,000, and of course the 1/3 of the nation of Jacob, which is the chosen nation. But in the chosen nation you have the chosen people, within the chosen individuals within the chosen nation. Okay, so let me see, maybe I can get it back or something. Okay, right, 2 Chronicles chapter 30 verse 10. It says, so the post passed from city to city through the country of Ephraim and Manasseh, even unto Zebulun, but they laughed them to scorn and mocked them. I do have to read the whole chapter to make you get up in it, and to make you understand what I'm saying. But the point is that, let me read it again. It says here, because the Most High caused the Israelites to go in the midst of the Jacob descendants and tell them to come back to Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. But the book of Zechariah chapter 7 verse 11, it explains to you that what did they do? They pulled away the shoulder, man. They was like, man, get off me, man. Don't touch me, man. Yeah, like I was saying, I was talking to this guy this morning, funny as hell, and he said to me like, yo man, why you coming up with them deep things, man? And then I explained to him like, listen, you're telling me that I'm on a conspiracy tip, so I explained the word conspiracy to you. And yeah, because it's too deep for them, man. That shows me also, like, people in this world, you shouldn't be talking to them concerning scriptures, man. What you need to be doing is just be normal with them, man. Don't be scriptural with these people, And I wasn't even trying to be scriptural. I just broke down that word, conspiracy. Because what did I say before that to cause him to give me that conspiracy thing? I was talking about the government or something like that they're lying to us. And then, then he came up with, yeah, man, you on a conspiracy tip, man. And then I explained the word conspiracy to him. And then he said, yo, man, you too deep with that, man. And I started thinking, like, you know what? I shouldn't even be mentioning stuff to you, man. Let's just keep it on a worldly tip and just be cool cat with that. Let's be cool cat with that. Because this is not for everybody. This is only for the Israel of Israel. The Israel of the Most High. You have the Israel, the nation that coming out of Jacob, and then you have the Israel of the Most High. Out of that nation come up the elect, and those elect are the ones that are the only ones that are going to understand it and that are going to make it. And the rest, they're going to perish. So 2 Chronicles 30 and 10. So the post passed from city to city to the country of Ephraim and Manasseh, even unto Zebulun. But they laughed them to scorn and mocked them, because the issue, like I said, the Most High sent the prophets, and they went over there, and what did they do? They laughed at them, right? So this is the book of Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 7:11. But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear. And Jeremiah chapter 2 explains specifically to you, like the Most High is telling them, like, why don't you go get them gods that you used to worship? Why don't you go get them and talk to them and let them save you? You know, because damn sure you're not coming over here, because the Most High is going to make it to where you're going to perish, you know. Because a lot of people, like I said, they be worshiping them statues and stuff like that, as if them statues are going to save you. Them statues are not going to save you, man. You know? The statues are not going to save you. Yeah, you got. I know a dude also that's working with tarot cards, man. There's a lot of people you trying to help them, but I'm not really forcing. No, never that. I just mentioned something. Yeah. But anyway, if I see you busy with them cards, I just say something. Hey, once you come back to Yahawah Shem Yahushua, they don't want to hear it. Some of them talking about this is an Edomite book. You know, I'll be like, okay, cool. Then I show the scriptures about yellow hair and so-called pale skin, white skin. Some of them actually, from there on, they start biting. From there on, they start biting. You know, that's how I lure them in. But some of them, it flies over their head, man. That shows you that even if you plant a seed in their head, there comes Satan and just whisper in his ears, and now he's talking about money, or he's talking about bitches, women. Whatever. Those are bitches, man. You have women, bitches, hoes, and slutterines and stuff like that. Not all of them are women. Not all of them are hoes. But anyway, they be chasing it, man. I'm talking to dudes, man. Jacob descendants, man. I'm talking to him. This guy, every girl that he see, I don't want to talk no more, man. I ain't gonna be explaining scriptures to you. To have you, every girl that you see, turn your head talking about, oh man, then he start changing the subject. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm already messed up with this subject. That's why I gotta stay on one subject. Because if I go around, I'll fuck around and lose myself. So it's kind of hard to teach people that are very all over the place, because I'm all over the place. If you do that, I'm done. I'm fucked. I'm not talking about this no more. No, I'm listening. 10 minutes later, still breaking the neck for a girl that you're not gonna have sex with. And you want an adultery tip. Mentally, spiritually. Anyways, Zechariah 7:11. But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear. That's exactly what they did, because they didn't want to listen. So there was mocking. But what did the Most High say? Proverbs chapter 1 verse 23. Turn thou at my reproof, which they're not turning. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. And how is the Most High pouring out his spirit unto you? By this word. Because this word is being given unto the Jacob descendants, right? Starting with the elect, because the Most High said the salvation cometh up of Judah. That's in the book of John chapter 4. Salvation cometh up of the Jews, right? Which are the so-called Negroes, so-called Negroes, right? So salvation cometh of them. So you got to listen to them. And if you don't listen, because they're the ones that are going to teach the other tribes, and then from the other tribes, they're going to start, soaking it in. And I'm going to give you an example. If you don't respect the person, you will not listen to what they have to say. It doesn't matter what type of nonsense, even if it means unto death. You're not going to listen because you don't respect him, you don't love him. You're not going to fucking listen. I've seen that so many times in this truth, in the world. For example, a Jake that doesn't respect the cops, they're not going to listen, they're going to fight, and he's going to shoot them to death. And the other one that doesn't respect him, well, he's going to be calm and stuff like that. Angry, but you're calm, you're cool. You'll be like, okay, cool, cat, let me handle this very wise. And then before you know it, you on your way. He might even spare you the ticket. I had that. I had that a few times. I had that, like, I think it was 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. And the guy, he was already, hey man, I was in the metro and stuff like that. But I came out and I just walked on. I the ports was open, so I walked behind. I think I walked behind someone or something like that. I just walked, and I didn't swipe the card, and I just walked. But I had a card in my pocket. I ain't playing with you, but I didn't want to use it because I was like, man, fuck this shit, man. I'm gonna use it when I get back. You know what I'm saying? Because I only got one, so I didn't do it. And then he said, hey, come here. I was like, okay, shit. Let me just pay you the money right then and there. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just pay the money. I ain't gonna make no big deal. And then he saw I already pulled my card at 50 euros instead of spending like what 3 euros for a card. I think it's 3 euros, it's for 3.50 or something. Instead of buying that, I was gonna pay a 50 euro fine. So I already pulled my card and I was waiting for him, and he already pulled the machine for me to pay it. And he was writing my name, my information. I gave him my ID out, and then he asked me like, so why didn't you pay the thing? I said, yeah, I was actually in a hurry. So first and foremost, I was actually in a hurry, but I didn't want. But anyway, so I didn't lie 100%. I was in a hurry, but I wanted to go, do the thing, and then come back, and then pay for the ride. So I said like, yeah, I was in a hurry, but I have and he saw that I have my card right there in my hand. I just didn't pay or something. I just didn't swipe it for now. I was gonna swipe it when I came back, you know. Anyway, he looked at me, man. He checked my record. He didn't see I had no open. I didn't have no open tickets. I didn't have no trouble on my car, on my police and ID thing, whatever, you know, when they took your card and they'd be like, hey, you got an open warrant or whatever, stuff like that. He saw I ain't got nothing on nothing. And then he said, hey, you know what, man? He called me by my first name because he read the name. And then he said, you know what, man? Hey, check this out, man. Don't do it again, man. You know? Just go out there. And it was a sunny day that day. He said, basically, go out there, have a little fun. And yeah, so what does that show you? If you be cool, calm, and you just respect the person for their job, they might be friendly with you, man. If the Lord's will, because I've seen other people being friendly, and still they get smacked over. So it's all about, you know, it's all about Yahawah Shai. Eventually, as the last stands, it's all about the Most High anyway. So, but yeah, but right. So if you don't respect a person or love a person, and then when they tell you something, you be like, man, fuck out of here, man. You ain't my boss and stuff like that. That's how you're gonna react. Well, the southern tribes and the northern tribes, the majority of them are like that. They don't respect Yahawah Shai Shai. They don't respect the power of Yahawah Shai Shai. So what is the first thing that they're gonna do when you tell them about Yahawah Shai Shai and that you need to follow and that they need to follow after the Most High Yahawah Shai? They're gonna be like, F you, man. F whatever you represent and all that there. Basically, our God and the one that we follow is Caesar. We're gonna listen to him. He got the authority. To them, Caesar Borgia got the decisive authority and all that, because according to them, he's the one that makes the ultimate judge. Because I remember this song back in the days from Tupac, only God could judge me. But now they be like, only Esau could judge me, man. You know, they put the Heavenly Father on the side and be like, nah, man, as long as the Edomite don't judge me, then it's all good. Because the Most High said, what about them Sodomites over there? How about that? Right? But they be like, nah, Esau says they're good, so they're good. I ain't got no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to go pick a fight. I'm just telling you, like, hey, man, yeah, I ain't down with that shit, man. You know, you need to calm down with yourself. Look, I'm not gonna look out for you and stuff like that, trying to do something, or even say anything. I ain't saying nothing, man. I laugh until they're trying to do something irritating. You know, like do extra. They're trying to pick you up or something. Oh, Lord willing, they're not doing it with me, but I saw it. I've seen it, and I'm already thinking in my head, like, man, don't be doing that, man. You know? Because if I was to go to a girl and she didn't like me, and I'm trying to pick her up, you might have a whole war over there, man. Like a whole, sexual harassment and all these things, and you know, it's kind of creepy. That's the same thing that them dudes be doing on them other dudes, man. So don't get twisted, you know, because you might get your head handed to you on a silver platter. Might be a wooden platter even, or a golden one, doesn't matter. Your head gonna get handed to you, you know. But anyway, so that's what the Jacob descendants are doing right about now. Like I said, if you don't respect the person, you're not gonna listen to them. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to listen to them. That's exactly what the Jacob descendants are doing right now. They're not listening. It don't matter. You don't care. So then you move on. Because love can turn into hate. You know? According to them, the Most High doesn't love them. Malachi chapter 1. You know? According to them. But anyway, so enough of that one. And that's what's happening right now. They're not listening because they don't respect Yahawah Shai. Right? And I'm going to give you Proverbs chapter 1, verse 23. Turn ye at my reproof, which is the Most High sending his prophets. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you, which his spirit is this word. I will make known my words unto you. How? By the elect reading the scriptures unto you. Oh man, don't rain now. I don't want to get my book wet, man. Else I'm gonna have to stand there. Anyway, so reading on. Pardon. So Proverbs 1 and 24. Because I have called and you refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. How is the Most High stretching out his hand? He's stretching out his hand to his men that are going out there trying to gather the elect to the power of Yahawah Shai, to his spirit, which the word is his spirit, and therefore when he speaketh unto you, that's the spirit of Yahawah Shai. That's the spirit of the Lord. You know? So it says here, but ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. All the counsel of the Lord, you set it at naught. Now I'm thinking again about that guy that I was talking to. He didn't want to. I don't remember the other about the Muslim thing, but I'll get that later. Yahawah decide when I get home. I'm just gonna have to check it back. But anyway, I was thinking about him, and the point is that I was talking to him, and he didn't want to. They don't want to listen. They don't want to hear. They don't respect the Most High. They rather listen to you. I was talking to this other girl. I was talking to her about Yahawah Shai. And you know what she said, man? I don't want to hear that when you read. I just want to listen to you. I'm looking at it like, should I be stupidly flattered or something like that? But she actually did want to listen to me because I kept on talking like a motor mouth. But I wanted to get the scripture. Not wanted to. I was getting the scriptures. But she said like, nah, I don't want to listen to the scriptures. I want to listen to what you have to say. Like, no, man, that's not how it works, man. Because those are the things coming out of my mouth then. You know what I'm saying? I'm just quoting scriptures to you, but you know, but that was a while ago. You know, some of the Jacob, I don't even know what the hell to do with certain people anymore, man. You know, you're looking at them like, but anyway, it's the Most High, man. You know, it's the Most High. Some people are cool to dwell with, but when it comes to the scriptures, man, they don't want to hear nothing, man. They don't want to hear nothing. And that's the thing. Now they don't want to hear it. Once Yahawah Shai sets up that real pain, then they're going to want to hear it. But about that time, Most High is not going to want to hear them. He's going to be like, hey man, I chain check you, right? I did not chain check you? Did not check you? Okay, I give you a little tap on your chin. Most High is going to really double down chain check you. You know? Because what they're getting right now is a form of correction. They're getting a form of correction. And a lot of people don't want to hear it because they hate it. If you correct them, they don't like it. But I'm not trying to correct. I'm trying to show you about the history. I am trying to correct, but not like that. Not as if I'm squeaky clean. I ain't coming like that. And they know. So Lord willing, that's why they ain't really angry at me. They're angry at the word because they don't respect the Most High Yahawah Shai, and therefore they don't want to hear the word. They don't want me to read. I had it with a few people, but the girl just came in my head. She was the last one that I had that with, and I was like, damn, Jacob is really they really in another mindset, man. They would rather listen to man than to the words of the Most High written by man. That's why they got them so hard in these churches, these leaders of ours, you know, these fake leaders. Those are the ones that are actually selling them that glory ticket. Let me read on further. Now, Proverbs 1 and 23, because I have called and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have sitteth not all my counsel and would none of my reproof. I also, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. So they're laughing at the prophets coming to bring this truth. I had a few people laughing at me. Well, not recently. This was very back in the days. They was laughing like, "Hey man, what you got that garment on, man? You're kind of funny with that thing." And then I explained to him like, "Yeah, because the caucus raped you. That's why you dress like that right about now. You're just like a sodomite. That's why you got all that Gucci on and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You make sodomites rich and a homo